Hi, it's Emily, and today I want to take a look at Evernote as a research assistance tool. I'm taking a break from a research paper that I'm working on to demonstrate kind of how I'm doing that. So, of course, research usually starts with some sort of online tool to do research, and I've got my uh, EBSCO library WorldCat search databases stuff going on, and I found an article, and I've got the PDF of it right here, and I downloaded that to my computer, and now I have this wonderful looking, ginormous article to read and to figure out what part of it is going to fit in my paper. And of course, I've got multiple of these that I've got to put in my paper. So how do I get from the article here that I've done my research, I found a good article, to get that into either an annotated bibliography or even my paper? How do I process that much information? And the tool that I'm using right now is Evernote, and I went ahead and purchased the premium subscription to Evernote. So this video means nothing to you if you aren't going to purchase the Evernote Premium. Evernote functions as a pretty good note-taking tool without the premium. You're limited on how much data you can have, and you can't use these annotation features that I'm going to show you if you don't have the premium. But the premium costs $50 a year. So if you can find a free tool that works better, or you have other tools you'd rather use, probably that's a good idea. But for me, for the limited number of years that I'm in grad school, it makes a lot of sense while I'm writing these papers for me to go ahead and spend that and just kind of count it as another educational expense, like my tuition, just to be able to use this tool because I think it saves me that much time. So here's my Evernote, and I've got all kinds of notebooks. And I've got a stack for this course, and I've got stacks for different projects in this course. And I to add an article, I create a new note. In my system, I title it by the name of the article. You can do this however you want. But I also go ahead and grab the citation and paste it here so I don't lose that, because that's really important. Once I've downloaded the article, it might be a little difficult for me to track down all the little details, like the volume number of the journal or something. So I've done that, and I've downloaded the PDF as a PDF to my hard drive. And of course, this is a Mac version, but it's going to be kind of similar in on Windows or something like that. But here's my article, and all I have to do is drag the file right here, boom, and it shows up, and that's really hard to read and kind of awkward. But the cool thing is when I click this annotation button, and I can choose to annotate the PDF, I get it right here, and I can read along, and I can actually do this on my iPad too, I think. But if there's a part of it that I think is really, really valuable, and I've scanned this already, so this is probably a good sentence here. This paragraph where he talks about constructivism, because that's what my paper's about. And maybe that's the only thing in the whole thing that makes any sense, but this is a really important foundational article to this topic, and so I want to make sure that I cite it somewhere. So that's a really important paragraph, and let's say I've read the whole thing and I'm done. What it's going to do here for me is pop my annotation summary right here. So you can look at some of the other articles that I've annotated this way, and you know, I can see right here, here are the main ideas that I identified when I read the paper. And of course the whole paper here if I want to see them in context, so that when I was pulling together an annotated bibliography on these, I could easily glance through and see what I thought was important. And when I go to write my paper, I can easily glance through and see what I think is important as I'm writing that paper, and then be able to pull from those important ideas into my paper. And I'm not even writing my paper in Evernote. It's in Google Drive over here. So as I go through, I can just slip from Evernote, where all of my articles and my research is sitting, and have it over here in my paper. And it's just a really nice tool. That annotation summary to me is worth $50 a year. That it can just pull the highlights from the paper into one spot, so I can see it. That's just really powerful for me, and worth the money to be able to do that. So that's just a look at kind of that process of getting from a whole pile of big articles into one paper, and how Evernote helps me bridge that gap. So there's the story.